Hello, my name is Rich Schaefer, and I'd like to share with you the results of a feasibility study I've done on the use of web-based deployment of user interfaces for Vera home automation. The intention is write software once, deploy it to multiple devices such as laptops, PCs, tablets, and in this example, a mobile Samsung S4 phone. So I'm going to start up my browser. I'm going to go to a bookmark, and I am going to open up my web interface to Vera. What you're seeing right now is the amount of time it takes for it to connect to Vera, load in all the devices, and provide a user interface based on the available devices. What it's shown right now is just those devices which are considered active. Active devices are things like doors that are left unlocked, motion sensors that are triggered, and in this case lights or fans that are turned on. I have running in parallel to this example Vera running on my PC using the standard web interface. So I'm going to control some things remotely just to show you what happens on this particular display. So right now I'm going to go into my office, and I'm also going to turn on the light. So here it goes. I'm going to turn on the light now. And what you saw was the light come on. The little green bar right there was the Z-Waves command being sent from Vera to the office light. And of course, as soon as the light came on, it switched off. And it's a dimmer. So remotely, I am going to be changing the level, and here I changed it for you. You saw the value change. I can change the dimmer level right here, and you'll see the interactions. Notice that the light actually, the light icon dims to the level of the current setting. So I'm going to set it down pretty low. And you can compare the dimming intensity of the fan versus the light above. And in this case, I can either slide these toggles or touch them from the touch. I'm just going to tap the office light. That will toggle its state, the on-off button. And once it goes off, it's no longer generating any power, so it's off of the display, which I'm currently showing, which is the active devices. So now I'm going to change the scope, and I'm going to change the scope to all devices. I need to provide a little better user interface than it actually clicked. But it's rebuilding the user interface right now for all of the devices that are on my Vera, not just the active ones. So now what you see is, I'm going to collapse this. You see something that's very similar to the Vera's website in terms of the dashboard, which is all the rooms, no room being one of them. And you can take a look at then the devices and or scenes that are in each room. So I'm going to go to Garage. And what you see, I have a couple locks, garage door and its associated garage door sensor. That's for the garage door plug-in. I am going to unlock the garage door right now by clicking it. And what you'll see is the garage door sensor tripped right away because the garage door is opening. And you'll probably see the doorbell go. There it goes.
Someone is at the door.
Because my motion sensor... my doorbell is actually a motion sensor, and it often detects the garage door motion. And of course, I have a Vera alert on it, which is what you've heard.
Someone is at the door.
That was the Vera alert letting me know that somebody's at my door. So I'm going to lock the garage door again just by tapping on. Oops, there, tap. Tap the background. I'm going to slide it over this time. So there, I'm locking the garage door. It will take the doorbell will probably go off again because of the motion.
Someone is at the door.
There it goes. And I'm going to cancel that Vera alert so it doesn't say it twice. Okay, back here. So the door sensor is now locked, and the garage door. If you've looked at my PC version of this prototype, I describe. Well, I have actually two garage doors, garage door and loading dock door, and I have associated sensors with them: garage door sensor and loading dock sensor. And you will see that I do support customization of the UI. Here I have two different icon sets for the loading dock door versus the garage door sensor. What we saw earlier, which was inadvertent, was me taking a look at a particular properties of a device. So I'm going to click on not the arm button, but just to the side of it on the garage door sensor. And what that brings up is a dialog box, which is very similar to the Advanced tab in the Vera user interface. So it shows all the properties, and there you see things like that it's a motion sensor. You see things like the manufacturer, you see the name, you see when it was created. Vera often shows, at the bottom of the page you see the created. Vera often shows just the number 134. I convert those to nice user-friendly values. So that was created about a year ago. There are other things in here, and I need to do a little bit of work because they got truncated on this phone as opposed to wrapping. So I've got to sort some of that out. But one of these, each of these things that can be expanded are groups of properties associated with the garage door sensor, and this one is grouped with the things associated with the locking status. What you see here is that the last trip, that was just a few minutes ago at 9:51. What I'm going to do remotely for this garage door sensor is that I am going to change the arm status. Let me find it on my Vera user interface. Okay, let's see, this garage door sensor. I'm going to change it to bypass now. And what you saw, and I'm going to toggle it a couple times, you're going to see the arm flag go on and off as I toggle it remotely. In Vera, the Advanced tab, all of those properties are static. They're fetched once and they don't change. The only way to see a change in those values is to refetch the browser window. In my feasibility study, any display that's showing data associated to Vera is updated when any of the data for Vera changes. Similarly, I'm going to also change the unlock the door remotely, and you will see that the tripped will go, and we'll see last tripped as well. So I'm going to unlock the door now, and it tripped, and you also saw a new last tripped value. Okay, let me close that. And I'm going to stop my garage door halfway and lock it. So you see me locking it remotely, and you don't see any little green things popping up because in my locks for here, it's done.
Someone is at the door.
There's Vera alerts letting me know that somebody's at the door again, so let me cancel that. Okay, so you don't see the little green pop-ups because for me the doors are not done with Z-Wave switches. They're done with Wi-Fi based switching. Alright, so what other things can we show you here? Let's take a look at the great room. And here I have various kinds of lights, temperature sensors, motion sensors, camera that's not supported, and at the bottom you'll see the living area. That's actually a thermostat for the living area. And let me find that remotely or on my web-based interface on my PC so I can interact with it remotely here. Okay, I'm going to change the temperature set point from the lower one from 67. I'm going to click it down a couple notches, and what you see is the transmit as the Vera is transmitting those changes to the thermostat. You see them pop up. See 63, 62. Now I just clicked on it to get the properties of the thermostat. In this dialog, very similarly, I'm going to click it up now, that 62. So I'm up to 65. And you see that I can both interact with the device locally on the phone and or I can interact remotely and see the results on the phone. So both capabilities are there. So I hope you've liked my presentation and find this useful. Let me know via the forums. Thank you.